you may start your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here today. I'm doing a presentation about the dementia-friendly approach, making house into a home. So first, I always want to feel like that our residents do not live in our workplace. We work in their home. I had this motto as well in my office where I was as a dementia nurse manager. So the question is always what would you expect a good quality care home to look and feel like? What is a good home? Would I like my mother to live here, or would I want to live here myself when you look at the care homes? As a healthcare professionals, what do we need to do to ensure that the homes feels homely and enables the families trust us to help their loved ones to live their daily lives? As we heard already, thank you, Jana, for my experiences as a qualified nurse from Finland as well as in UK doing the adaptation courses, working as a deputy manager as well in the dementia homes in UK, mainly private sector. So I have had a good experiences knowing how to use our resources to make sure that we enable really good quality care. And I'm sharing main experiences of being a dementia nurse manager at the Royal Star and Garde homes, and also working there as a consultant afterwards. And yes, we did win award actually in 2016 as and the National Dementia Care Awards, the Best Interior Dementia Design Awards. And it was really prestigious as in UK. It's absolutely fantastic to win something like that when I had started there, and because it was a new home and totally magnolia white walls, and then we just built it, and with the staff members, it was amazing to receive this. And before I started my maternity leave, I was also nominated as in the National Care Awards, as well as the National Dementia Care Awards in UK as Best Dementia Care Manager, shortlisted on the 5 best ones. We didn't win, but it was amazing experience. Also, our whole care team was nominated and shortlisted there, so it was a really amazing feeling. And this is where we are going to the awards. And meaningful care matters. This is the care model we work with, and they trained us. They trained the care team. They trained myself to make sure that as a team leader, I will make sure that I will lead the team by example. So we won the level 1, the Butterfly Household Model of the Care Acceleration Award. And what it means is to provide this exceptional person-centered dementia care. The care culture where people are free to be me. They can be themselves. It's absolutely fantastic, like we should be. It's all about the relationship with people, talking about the residents, talking about the staff members. It's all about places what the residents have visited, things what they have expired. This is who makes us, who makes the residents, they live their journey. Supporting the sense of personhood, the resident, who they are. It's all about the need for love. What are all these moments and experiences in their life, the activities? What is the meaningful life? We all know that it belongs somewhere. It's the agency, it's the occupation, the comfort and attachment for that. And the goal is to sustain individual well-being and develop an emotional, resilient culture of care. And the qualities and the values of meaningful engagement is staff to have the confidence to be themselves. They need to have the feeling that you as a team leader as well, do you support them? Having the meaningful encounter with the residents, having the ability to get to know, having the time to get to know a person, and freedom to be guided by the empathy and practice wisdom. Moving to a home, it's always a challenging one for anyone, for the residents, the family members, and us as a care team to make sure that when somebody does come in, they do feel like a person. The staff are there to spend the time to get to know the residents, sharing their life histories, both ways, not only residents telling us or the relatives telling about the resident, us also to telling our life story to residents. That's how you get better connection. When they hear that I have a children, they will tell about their grandchildren to me. So there's immediately a connection. Obviously, the key is to understand the behaviors which a person is presenting now. If they were doing gardening and always spending time in the garden, now we know why they're always knocking the door and wants to go outside. They want to feel that, they want to be in the garden. To recognize that they are still there, same person, regardless of the diagnosis. And knowing their life's history is the key to be able to provide a truly person-centered care. We also had a key worker system, which meant that one care assistant and one nurse was the key worker for the residents, so they had more meaningful time creating the life stories, creating the atmosphere, the environment, having the person to settle in. They were always the key person there, the resident moving in. And we had a reach out cafe for family members. So as a manager, I needed to organize a cafe in a safe environment for the people to come in, have a talk, discuss about their loved ones in the home, but as well let the relatives to find someone to connect with as staff members, but other relatives. It's really good. Here we have pictures of life stories as well as the family tree. And the family tree had also photos of the staff as well as the residents. Life stories, the residents looking at it, photo albums to share the past, and also reading with the residents in their bedrooms. We break the barriers, don't we? It's all about no uniforms. It's not them and us, is it? Staff members are wearing, normal clothing, dressing up clothing to make it fun. Why wouldn't you like to do it? Night staff are wearing the pajamas to help with the orientation. Name badges, as we can see, it's only the first name with the butterfly. Doesn't matter what is my title, I'm here to be with you. Residents can call the staff members their first names. Oh, come here, my daughter. Because if somebody calls me the daughter, that means that they really trust me and want me to be with them. It's all about how it makes them feel. Staff wearing the decorative aprons. I will show you a photo about it. But also sitting down and drinking a cup of tea. It doesn't need to be the whole cup of tea, just to sit down for a few minutes to give time to the person. And here we have the aprons, what the staff members are wearing. As you can see, one of our healthcare systems, really colorful. Our housekeeping team, who are making sure the home looks homely and clean. And here we have some dressing up clothes as well, to make sure that it's fun to be at work, but obviously we're in the resident's home. Communication. It's all about the feeling behind the words. It's not about residents comes and tells you that they want to go home. It's the feeling what comes from home. You want to go home and you want to feel secure and safe. You want to go to work. Some residents are always facing the hallway and say, I want to go to work. I need to go now. That means that maybe they're bored. You need to get something, them to do meaningful activities. What did they used to do? They were carpenters. Why don't we have tools here for the carpenter to do again? Have tools around them to feel like they are doing something. So to be in the moment, whatever the resident says, go with the flow. Okay, let's go together. Very often we went out in the garden to distract the person and we were talking about the carpentry, and then we came up to have a cup of tea again. To enter the bubble, to go with the thought, whatever the person says. So talk to the residents and not through them. Always include the person. It is the staff to understand the importance of using these positive words. For example, we don't feed anyone. We assist the person to eat. We don't do toileting. We don't have toileting rounds. We assist the person to use the toilet. It's small things, but it can affect a lot for a person if they have, psychological as well. If you are talking negatively one way of, I'm doing my task. It's not doing a task, it's somebody to help with the people. Staff approach, very important, as we know. It is all about having the eye contact, tone of voice, and being on the same level. Even going to your knees on the floor to make sure that you have the same level with the person. All the gestures and movement and facial expressions. Taking the time to listen and giving the person time to talk back to you. Using the close-ended questions and one at a time. And positive risk-taking or making an unwise decision. Resident having a scoop of ice cream and they want to put ketchup on it. Does it really matter? No, they're going to eat the food, and if they put ketchup and makes them feel already enabled, wrapping the ketchup, pouring it over the ice cream and eating it, they have eaten their lunch. Does it really matter? And in then it's duty for care staff to make sure that at least people are eating. And here we have some positive connections. The gentleman with the tie is our director of finance. He even falls on his knees when he talks to the people to be on the same level. Meal times are really important. We have a dinner without your family members, don't you? It's normally to listen to the person what they want, knowing the likes and dislikes and how they're able to eat themselves. Obviously, the dietitian and speech and language therapists are there to do the assessments. We have a glass fridge on the hallways. People are able to help themselves. Fruits are there on the table. The residents can help themselves. Or if you know that the person likes apple, maybe you peel that apple to the person and they're able to help themselves, or you assist them to it. Homemakers are in the families. These are one care assistant serving the meals with the apron on, and other healthcare assistants are sitting down with the residents, so enabling this family meal times feeding. Total. Residents are giving visual choice of the food, not just to give food on the front. You give which one would you like, mashed sausage and mash or fish and chips, or you know that the person is allergic to fish. Obviously, you will offer some other choice, but at least the person will have the ability to make the choice, enable them to make their choices. And having the drinks as well as juices or glass of wine or beer or something on the table, so at least the person can see that they have a choice what they can have and drink. Discussion topics on the tables. We can see here on a picture. It is colorful, the dining rooms. It's not boring. It looks quite inviting to even to walk in and sit down to have a breakfast on this table. We have pictures there. I can see some football pictures. So obviously this gentleman who sits on this chair likes Liverpool or whatever topic of this on the picture of the football team it is. So there's always something what is personal to the resident sitting around it. So you as a healthcare staff member, you can sit down and have immediately chat with the person. And there is the glass fridge on the hallways. And we have aprons. Instead of putting the napkins, we have these kind of dignified aprons to residents to wear. So if the food spills on them, they can easily be washed. They can the laundry. Residents were peeling potatoes to have a feeling of being at home. And we have obviously residents also chopping the vegetables as well with the care staff. Environment, there is a lot of photos about the environment. Residents' bedroom doors, having pictures of the residents, their hobbies, what is mementos, what are relevant to them. Also helping the resident to recognize where the bedroom is. The whole unit, the whole home, the whole family is decorated according where the resident used to do. We had a doctor who had his own doctor's practice. So we made another office outside of the nurse's office. So he felt that he was charged of that office. He came to tell me as well a few times that I had a secretary to do that job for me. I said, yes, thank you, doctor, I know that. So, you make them, you make the people feel that it's their home. The ornaments are important to have everywhere around. We have the contrast of the floors as well as the sofas. And we have the patio area and the flower beds are raised. As you can see, the colorful, it's there. It's nice. It's inviting to go in and spend your time. Some memorable items on shelving units. The hallways, they don't look so bare. As you can see, there's one empty bedroom here, coming a resident moving in. There's a post office. You know that you can go and post your letters what you write to your family members. Traveling corner. Many people have traveled, so we find out where they have been, and we put these items and pictures of those places where they've been on the walls. This looks like going for holiday for Hawaii, but you go to there, have a bath. So it's quite a nice feeling of I'm going to the beach, which is also actually the bathtub, but it's nice to have the feeling. Overling our honoring country, of course, the duty, our princess there. And then shoe shop, having the shoes, some clothing, the wear. And of course, our Majesty the Queen, wearables there, nurturing, doll therapy corner. We had dolls always to use. Sometimes we say in late stages, but sometimes we also say that in the early stages, because sometimes people do feel that they need to have feeling of purposeness and having the doll next to them on a high chair and trying to feed them as well. So we were doing a lot of the dolls and having the flowers, and the bathrooms are really nicely decorated. Okay, and the toilets are different colors and the bedrooms are widely decorated. I think I'm running out of time. So we have a few more photos I can show you, and you can see exactly how it looks and feels like. And the raised flower beds are really important. People with wheelchairs are able to access them as well. Do we need to finish? I will, if there's something, questions, I'm really happy to talk to you afterwards as well. And there's some handouts I left, and I printed out something for life stories, just to give example of what we tend to collect when we are building the life story. Thank you. Thank you.